Hello there, good morning you. How you doing? So today I saw the clip of David Goggins talking with Huberman. Huberman just blew up. I mean, I think he has some great stuff. And now listening to Goggins and him, knowing that willpower is a muscle, I totally believe in that. You know, it's kind of what you do at your best, set that as a baseline. And it comes with a reversal of desire. I've heard Phil Stutz talk about this in his book, The Tools in Coming Alive. It's about leaning into the things that scare us instead of recoiling from them. Because, yeah, doing that is a muscle, and it's not easy. We train, like at the gym, and there's some questions that I have as well. How to balance pushing yourself and overexerting yourself, or rather just embracing the challenge. You know, you can be in the challenge, embrace the challenge, but not overexertion. I think there's a balance to that, because you don't want to be, for example, when you're training, I think this happened to me, you don't want to be keeping the tension in your body and reinforcing a pattern that will just cause you to gain strength, but not with your use, not aligned with your use. Rather, you're fighting in weird ways to achieve an end while you sacrifice the process. So I think you gotta be mindful of that and still embrace new experiences, especially scary ones, as growth. So yeah, I think that's the balance of it, and the trick, that there's no formula, there's no secret, there's no hack, and I believe in that. And the other one is trusting your intuition, following the things that you are passionate about, curious about, and doing the hard thing. It's like sitting down to write. There's gonna be resistance, or sitting down to do a new thing, or sitting down to learn a new scene and doing the puzzle. There's gonna be some resistance there, but it's the mind working and allowing yourself to experience that discomfort, or early discomfort, because I believe it can change. It can be uncomfortable in the beginning and then switch to something comfortable when you are finding a solution. So it's kind of like a paradox. You got to start in the uncomfortable situation and then find the joy in the process. At least for me, that's what I'm researching, my own experiences for the truth. That's what I can come to. I enjoy that. I love that. And yeah, doing things, taking care of ourselves, challenging ourselves in the fitness area, work area, love area, you know, maybe dating, getting yourself out there can be uncomfortable, and being good with rejection, or training rejection, that's another muscle. And that's key, like in life. You gotta be willing to risk being a fool and not giving a damn what other people think. And it's hard, you know, because to a certain degree, we want recognition or respect from other people, I think, coded into the tribe. But I think we can decondition ourselves to depend on it, rather just do our work and release any kind of attachment to that result. And we can practice that even more, you know. It's not about being in it all the time, rather just being above the line the most we can. And then learning when we're suffering or pain or not knowing what to do, embrace that and allow ourselves to find a new path that we carve out for ourselves. Fleshing out this character, so I'm really proud of myself, because I shared my stories for the first time. I think, wow, that feels so weird when I speak about it. Like, what's so bad about like sharing it? Well, it was scary, but lucky enough, I have a friend who I trust, and I showed my work, and it wasn't so scary after all. It's like, oh, you just get feedback. Of course, you gotta like choose the people that you show it to, especially with your writing or your creative side that comes from like a vulnerable child, I think. So yeah, embrace that, share it, but know that there is something there that you want to speak. Your voice wants to tell, so let it come through. So I'm finding that, I'm fleshing out this character, and then I think that's the way for me to find the character and put him in a location and see what happens when someone else gets in his way, or he clashes with a Look at that church. It's beautiful, right? And what is that over there? I always forget the name of that building. I don't like the design much. It kind of looks like Bauhaus. I think they strip away a lot of what makes it beautiful. I don't know, it's just kind of, oh! I think Rupert Spira called it erecting middle fingers or something like that. That was fucking amazing. Anyways, on the other topic of free will, still reading the book. I'm 50 pages in, more or less, and oh, I just remember about my voice. That's a good thing as well. When I'm practicing, I like to remember myself how I use my body, allowing the neck to be free, connection between head, body, and torso, knowing that a thread is holding my head up to the sky. It's hanging from the sky from a thread, and that aligns my whole spine. And then you practice breathing into that, to width, depth, and breadth. Wow. As breath is the fuel of life, is life itself. So yeah, breathing is so important, we tend to forget it. Now, next thing. Oh yes, free will. So what I'm really curious about here is how, okay, let's discard intent. We don't know where intent comes from. Man can will what he wants, but he cannot will what he wills. Schopenhauer. What does this mean for us? What does this mean for everyday life? Maybe we can have more kindness and empathy and connect that to meditation. If they really couldn't help themselves of being themselves, or me from doing something, I can ease the burden of guilt, shame, and punishment. I think I mentioned that yesterday. And that allows for space to create new things and even get in the way. That thought of saying, oh, I want to push myself further, I want to improve myself and pull myself up by my own bootstraps, that can fade. That's an illusion too. And then you can just say, okay, what's in the mind? What's in the mind right now? And be aware of it without any kind of judgment. And then you know that it is movement and change. That brings me to the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha, first one, right? Suffering. Second one, everything is in movement. Can't remember the third one or the fourth one right now, but those are it. Those are it. So we don't need to suffer as much. Okay, the other thing, I'm looking how to blend this as well into a more every frame of painting kind of style. That's what I'm looking for in I took an on-camera class, and they tell you how you don't want to be just a talking head. Rather, what are you doing? What am I doing with my hands? It's more interesting to do an activity and allow myself to ground myself in that, and then just let the words come out any way they want to come out. But how am I using that camera angles? Am I leaning in? Am I having space? Am I not having space there? Or am I turning my face? I'm learning how to balance that into a more naturalistic acting. I tend to compare Toshiro Mifune, right? I think he does great character work. And yet, I think some may call him over dramatic today, perhaps. Or I really like him, I can say that. I think he has a compassionate side, a funny side, and it works in the movies that he's doing, especially The Seven Samurai. Perhaps it depends on the world of the play. What are the rules of the world of the play or the movie? What are the rules here? Are they consistent? And what is the aim of it? Is it dramatizing? Is the feeling being conveyed? And is what he wants being achieved or not achieved? And how does he show that through behavior, right? Yeah, that's it. Look at my shoes, guys. Okay, yeah. Stripping that away. Stripping that away. It's so funny how, well, at least to me, acting has been about non-acting and letting go of trying to perform and just letting my own nature shine in that character as a beginning, and then how do I create that through the illusion of a character, and what role am I playing? What are the things do I want to remember? What could be useful for that? Oh, for example, right now I think images are really powerful. How do we use images, especially when we're in drama? How do I use my body? Maybe I'm like a tree ant, moving slowly. Or maybe I am like a mouse. I move faster, and I can picture myself, my body turning into a mouse. Or maybe I am a water mermaid. Like, you know, seductive, watery, flowy, and really picture myself, my body turning into that, my energetic field. That helps. Expanding, contracting. How do we use that movement? Distal initiation, central initiation. That's interesting because we can observe people and we move in such unique ways. You know, it depends on what patterns we developed and how do we use our body to live through that. All the habits that we lived and how we use that to survive. Oh my God, it's really hot as well. Oh, it's hot. I feel like collapsing slows me down. It's good to know. What else? Trusting that being in the zone, forgetting myself, will be there. Oh, blank slating. I find that so powerful. You prepare, you craft for whatever it is, for life or an event, and then you just let it go. Don't structure or try to act. There is no like, oh, I'm gonna act now. Go into it. Or there is no, oh, I'm gonna negotiate now. Just be. Lean into being. Jump into the cliff of being, or into the hole of being. Jump from the cliff. I like that. How's the sound right now? Oh, maybe like a movement of the glasses. How do I use my glasses? Who would do this? Do you know people like this? Or that, you know, instead of like putting it here, you put it like over here. Oh, that's fun. Or maybe I wear glasses indoors, you know? I saw this woman interviewing this other guy at a diner where I was sitting. I was sipping my coffee, writing, and then I saw a job interview, what seemed like a job interview. But that's funny because she was interviewing this guy and she had like these big glasses on, and I couldn't tell if she was interviewing me or this other guy. And the guy was like, yeah. I don't know, it felt like, it's so interesting. So what is that? Why do I wear glasses indoors? And when talking to someone, is that I think everything that we do has meaning in it, and we can either let it go or delve deeper into it. Yeah, that's really powerful. Oh no! Almost got run over. Piece of cake. Okay, I'm also reading Ends Parade by James Maddox Ford. I got this from Bill Nye. He's currently my inspiration. Him and Jamie Robson, that Scottish accent. Please, Jamie Robson. I want to learn more of the Scottish accent. It's coming along, so allow yourself to be a fool as well when you're playing with that. Over dramatize, of course. I think just getting into that and learning more about what it is to be a human is exploring other cultures, diversity, learning what it is from habit, patterns, traditions. Yeah, and see what happens. Well, that's what I'm doing right now.